Buckeyes in Bloomington. Guess who's got the target on them?
Indiana.
Cream and Crimson have the target on them. Not Scarlet and Gray. Cream and Crimson have the target on them with the Buckeyes in town. Welcome to the new world order of college football.
Light it.
The Triple Option is presented by Wendy's. Join Team Tendies and enjoy a lineup like never before. Crispy, juicy Tendies now at Wendy's. Welcome to the Triple Option. A triple option that is part of Indiana's national championship run. I just said it. Indiana's national champions. Not in soccer, not in basketball, in college football. What world are we living in? It's a crazy world. So glad you're here with us. Rob Stone, the Hall of Famers. Urban Meyer, Mark Ingram II, as always. Thanks for joining us. If you enjoy the show, rate, subscribe, share. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you locate your podcast. We are on social media, 3X Option Show. Leave those questions, leave those comments. We love to respond to them. Let's talk about what transpired on Monday, courtesy of Any Given Saturday, and the Hoosiers. The
Hoosiers
are your national champions. They are just the second team to go 16-0 in college football since that legendary 1890, is it 497? I can't read my handwriting. 1890.
Yale?
Yeah, Yale. 1894, back in Yale to go.
I just went out and threw
16-0.
a couple bucks on Wake Forest. Who else? UAB.
Oh, you're talking. You're
Rice.
already going deep. Who
I
else
know.
can run it back? Massachusetts.
Man.
Man, you're
Think about
Man.
it. What are we talking about, man?
It's insane. It's
Indiana's
good.
101, man.
so
Indiana's 1 of 1.
Is this an
16-0.
outlier? Is this an outlier? Like never to be done again?
1 million to 1.
1 of 1, man. Like Cignetti, what he's been able to do with this program, the buy-in he's had from his players, the support he's had from the NIL, the way he coaches, the group that he's assembled, they're 1 of 1, man. I don't see this
I agree.
being replicated anytime soon.
I agree. Spectacular.
But we would have said there's no chance this would have ever happened. I mean, we're talking about replicating.
I mean,
but
48 months ago, 12 months ago,
Correct.
you'd say, no way. Come on. I mean, that was a nice run with James
Nobody
Madison
had-
kids
yeah.
last year. Nice
Nobody
run.
had Indiana in the national championship this year. Even after last year, they went 12-2. We thought that they would be good. We didn't think they'd be in the national title game, winning it.
was there any point this season where you guys said to yourself, oh, wait, this team can win a national title?
No.
Because I remember when they went to Eugene and won, I was like, hey, they're here. But I still had this reservation. Even when they beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game,
When
I
they
was like,
beat Bama.
that was it, huh? Why?
They-
Then
Because
they solidified it with the same thromping of Oregon.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
see that going in the playoff, you're like, okay, they beat
'Cause
Ohio
he-
State.
Even when you beat Ohio State, Mark, it was 2 red zone opportunities by Ohio State that
Right.
really Ohio State should have won the game. And I was there. We were all there. We're watching the game, and who had better players? Ohio State. They did. You know, but my gosh, it's one of the greatest football teams of all time, because we're going to go review the game here in a minute. They name a mistake they make. I can't.
They don't.
And I'm not talking about like in the game Saturday. I'm talking about 2 years
Yeah.
of studying this football team where they've had 2 losses in 2 years, and the people on the other side got better that you got in a lot of those games. So, I mean, this is a monumental, and I'm never going to take away from those players because those aren't good players. Those are great players.
Yes.
But the NFL draft is going to show you there's, the majority of that draft, the draft opportunity players are going to be mid to late, which is a credit to them. I mean, my gosh, was that
Maximizing it. You said maximizing.
maximizing.
Yeah.
Most maximized team in the history of college football.
Every single team they played, other than a few of the, non-conference games, we've always said the other team has better players. But this team plays hard. They put a chip on their shoulder. And they fight for one another, man. They coach well. They don't make mistakes. And, dog, this is just like, I just can't believe it. They went 16-0 and won the Natty, dog. Like, what are we talking about?
So, Mark, I was there again. I was there in the first playoff game. Not first. I was there against Oregon
16-0.
and walked around on the sideline again. And I was there with Tebow yesterday. And we were walking from drill to drill, drill to drill, drill to drill, again, just staring at these guys. And the coaches, the business like Aiden Fisher, and his linebacker Haynes, the D coordinator. The work, the efficiency, the confidence. Did you see any Fisher rush over that tailback? The effort and the technique he used on the tailback? He gave him a little out, and he sacked the quarterback. And I just was watching him warm up, and I'm staring at these guys going, this is for a football coach that loved football, that the better part of my life has been in it. That was magical. That was really cool to watch. I can't wait for that movie to come out.
Hoosiers Part 2.
Oh, yeah,
Hoosiers
Jimmy
Part 2.
Chitwood, played by
Football
Fernando
edition.
Mendoza.
But you talk about those guys, like look at like Pons. Pons, what, 5'9", $180?
And plays his ass off, man.
Tight end going up to catch a high pointed ball. He just goes and hits him clean and jars the ball loose. A big third down.
You should have seen this kid warm up. This kid warmed up, once again, stood 3 feet from him. And he is, I'll tell you what, for what he doesn't have in this, he's got twitch.
Yeah.
He's put together, and he's got great twitch and great instinct. And how about Big Ten Network guys told me last year, Cignetti called him over, and this is preseason camp a year ago. They pointed to Pons and said, that's our best football player.
Wow.
Big Ten Network guys was like, wow, that's great, but if that's your best player,
good luck.
you know,
Yeah,
you're
we're not
5'9"
going to be in Bloomington
corner.
a whole lot.
Yeah, you're not. We're not going to win we're not going to lift the national championship trophy in 24 months.
And by the way, the coaching staff, the work that entire staff did, I know Cignetti gets all the attention, and understandably and deservedly so, but those coordinators and the people underneath them as well, Coach, to your point, what they've done, how they've educated these players and schooled them and put them in the moments to succeed constantly, and they listen, they take in this knowledge. That staff is borderline legendary with what they did, considering what they had.
Together for 9 years, and I didn't know this, BTN brought this up, that the defensive coordinator who GA'd for me in 2013, and I don't remember much because he was on the defensive side. I just didn't spend much time with him over there. And I asked Coach Fickle, I asked Coach Day about him. They tried to hire him. They said, oh, excellent coach, obviously excellent coach. But they said he was on government assistance because he was making $10,000 a year working for IUP. And now he's making $3 million a year as a national championship defense coordinator. And by the way, he earned that $3 million.
He did.
That's one of those guys. Sometimes you scratch your head and say, does that guy earn that? Yeah.
That defense is tough, man. That defense is tough.
God.
And you talk about the supporting staff, you talk about the coaching staff. That's one thing I admire about Coach Cignetti. He deflects the praise all the time. He's always saying it's about a process, a plan, a vision, and the people that you have in the building. We've been a part of some special teams. You've been a part of a special group of people. When you have the right people in a building who put their egos aside for the betterment of the team for one common goal, that's what this team has did, and it's because of the group that they assembled in that building. And that's why they had a special season, because they had special people in the building.
All right, let's pivot to some of the big moments, particularly in the second half. The first half was dominated by Indiana, shutting out the Hurricanes, heading to the locker room, all that energy. Things changed a little bit, but I think probably the biggest play in the game was the block punt. It was a 3-point game at this juncture, third quarter. And Coach, you just call it an effort play?
So as I went back and watched it again this morning, they were in punt safe mark. They were just preparing to get a return.
Yes.
And if you think about pivotal moments, that's gonna haunt the Hurricanes. There's 3 plays to my mind that they would be waking up national champions. It was an offsides penalty by Baines on a third down situation. It was a 3rd and 17 face mask, but the most detrimental, the play that will haunt the Hurricanes. And punt safe, it was simply one guy going really, really hard against someone that didn't block him.
It was the difference in the game.
It was. And he got the MVP of the defense, and he should have got it. All he did is he out-effort the Hurricanes on that play, put his left hand up, blocked the punt, scored touchdown, because the momentum was over. It was over. Think about that, the yardage differential in the second half. Miami kicked their ass in the second half now, Mark.
Right.
And it felt that way. We were there.
278 to 155, Coach.
And give Miami credit. But Miami is kind of been a mistake team throughout the year a little bit, because on paper and future NFL players, I would probably say Miami was the better, more talented team. I think that's pretty well. I wouldn't say obvious, but because Indiana's got great talent. But Indiana, being there watching the two teams, Miami had better personnel.
Listen, you talk about that block punt. Let's just give them the grand scheme, right? Miami comes out, they score a touchdown. You come on defense. You're about to get the ball back at midfield. Maybe even a big play with Malachi Toney. That's why you're in punt safe, coach. You're in punt safe because you're about to have a return man for your returner, and you guys are trying to scheme up to get in better field position. It's 7-10. You get a block punt for a touchdown. Now it goes 17-7. You're supposed to get the ball back in midfield. That's essentially the difference in the game right there. It's 7-10. You lose by 6 points. They get a touchdown off a block punt. That is the sole difference in the game, in my opinion. It gave Indiana some momentum, and it had Miami fighting uphill for the rest of the game. But Miami balled, man. You talked about Carson Beck. He played almost 3 flawless games. Other than the last play of the national championship game, he played almost 3 flawless games. Malachi Toney balled out. This kid is a dog. This kid goes, he inserts and blocks safeties and linebackers. Mark Fletcher Jr. toted the rock. They got some ball players, man. And if I'm Miami right now, they let one go. I feel that way because in the second half, they dominated. They came out, they made adjustments, they dominated, and 1 blocked field goal was the difference of the game. You lost by 6 points.
So that made it 17-7. And then the next 2 big plays, and I had these circled and I wrote them down, 2 4th and 5 calls by Indiana. And it was funny. I was watching the NFL playoffs over the weekend with one of my buddies and his kids. And his kids are out of college and whatnot. And I said to them, I'm like, hey, youngsters, there was a time when if you looked over and it showed, on the sticks, 4th down, you're kicking the damn ball. You're punting or you're going for the field goal, right? It didn't matter if it was 4th and 2, 3, 4, whatever. You're kicking the damn ball. Now we live in this age where you're like 4th and 5 at the 37. Let's go for it. And that one that's the first of 2 4th and 5 calls on the same drive. Coach, you felt that one was a no-brainer. That ended up to be another one of those classic back shoulder throws to Charlie Becker. What a job Becker did in the playoffs. But let's start with that first 4th and 5 call at the 37. Why did you like it?
Well, the call, the decision, I would say the decision is
correct.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. That's 100% decision. You can't punt it, and that's 2 out of that's you practice that all the time, and he looked right on his sheet. That yard, they practiced that. However, a back shoulder throw. Do you remember last year, Mark? They were doing the back shoulder throws too.
Yeah.
So that you have to start giving credit to the coach because first of all, Mendoza did it. He's a Heisman Trophy winner. Charlie Becker did it. He's a great football player. But that's not something you go out and, hey, let's go do that on 4th and 5. They've done that 10,000 times.
Yeah.
They've done that all summer. They've done that in the offseason. Because he didn't baby that throw either.
He threw it.
He threw a back.
Threw him open.
One of the great plays, man.
So
and
in
Charlie
a
Becker coming down with it.
3-point game, though, Coach, in a 3-point game, it would have been a long field goal. You would have been more comfortable pushing to get the 7 rather than maybe not a guaranteed 3.
You're talking about the 12-yard line, or are you talking about
no? I'm still at the 37. So
that's done, Mark. Yeah,
no
37,
brainer.
47, 55-yard field goal. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the other one was at the 12, and again, it was 4th and 5.
Okay.
Different scenario for sure.
Completely different scenario.
Big boy run.
So Jeremy Foley, my athletic director of Florida, would come in my office, and we would often just have a quick conversation. And he would always talk about certain situations that he's experienced it as an AD. That if you get in that position, you have to go. That's a game set match. That's game because Miami went down and scored.
Yeah.
That's a game set match.
The prior 2 possessions Miami had, they scored touchdowns. So 3 points in this. If I'm Cignetti, 3 points is not doing me nothing. They're gonna go down
a 6-point lead is not enough.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
The chance to go up 2 possessions was crucial. And was critical in that part of the game. So, but go ahead and finish up, Coach.
So we had a similar situation against Oklahoma when I had Tebow in the group, and we went for it because, if you give them the ball, that's one of those things that you'll regret. And your players, the players that probably look at you and say, why would we not do this at this? I mean, we've got here, let's go win the damn game, and that was game set match. So and the play call. Of all the iconics, so let's think of them. Vince Young, I'm a little biased. The Tebow jump pass in 08. I'm sure, Mark, you got some iconic plays from your national championship. But that Mendoza run, Rob, that'll go in the archives in the history of – you'll see that for the next 25 years on highlight reels.
Coach, that's statue material in Bloomington. The outstretched
Mark
arms,
Cuban is, I'm sure, cutting
Mendoza
the check right
airborne.
now. And he should.
Sure.
He should.
Yeah.
He should.
That was a big boy run, Coach. 4th and 5 with the natty on
and
the
he got
line.
hit.
Yes.
He got hit.
Hey, Miami, we talk about them having dudes, right? We talk about
He's
them having
feeling that
dudes.
this morning while we're recording this.
At the line of the game, at the 5-yard mark, he drops his shoulder and runs over the Mike linebacker. He bounces off, keeps his balance, extends, breaks the plane of the goal line, and gets hit in the back for the tutty.
And
gets
lunges.
up. Yes.
I mean,
Ooh, that's a big boy run.
That's the bronze statue, right?
Yep.
Going in the end zone.
Yep. But to me, Coach, if you look at the last 4 Miami possessions, they had touchdown, 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 interception on the final play of the game. You had to go. Cignetti saw this. Cignetti was like, we're in trouble here. They kind of made some adjustments. They figured us out. We're not slowing them down. I can't kick this field goal and lose this game.
Because didn't they pull him off? Didn't he send the field goal team on?
Yeah, he
there
sent
was
the field goal.
There was a timeout, I believe, Coach, and there was real discussion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I get it.
Yep.
That's a
You have to make that decision, and I respect it from Cignetti. Because if you don't make that decision, the outcome of the game might be different. Because they did not slow down Malachi Toney. They did not slow down Mark Fletcher. Carson Beck was in the zone. The offensive line was firing off the ball. The 3 prior possessions, they had 3 touchdowns, Coach. We're not stopping them. I can't give them the ball back.
Miami was a great-looking team, man. I stood next to Carson Beck for the first time. I stood next to him. That's a great-looking player. Yep. 6'4", I'm saying 230. And he has a nice arm, and I know there's going to be a lot of his legacy is going to be somewhat like, he had so many chances. He played for 2 national championships, didn't really play at Georgia in those games. And then I think, Mark or Rob, you said he had 8 times. Oh, he had
6 losses. 6 losses.
8 losses,
careers.
6 of the 8. 6 of the 8, he had the ball in his hand.
Yeah, and threw an interception.
Yeah.
And he was great through the playoffs too. By the way,
he was flawless. His playoffs.
He was what Miami
the last
needed.
play of the game.
I just wonder why he threw that last ball like that. It was double coverage, Mark. He predetermined. He looked like he said, "I'm going to take this shot."
Bro, you got time, man. Don't be desperate. You know what I mean? But
–
Miami, the way I believe a football team is supposed to look is how Miami looked. I was skeptical of them early in the year. I thought they would win 9, 10 games and not go much further. But how this offensive line was built, how they're built in the trenches, then you have a running back, then you have a receiver, a jack of all trades, just an athlete who you get the ball to. Defensively, they play hard, they play tough. This is sustainable. What Mario Cristobal has built this year in Miami. And if they had Cam Ward on that team, I think that we might be talking about one of the best teams in the country. You know what I mean? So Cam Ward didn't have no defense like that when he was there.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting you bring up the Cam Ward part, Mark, because in this day and age where we're getting one and dones at the quarterback spot, right? How many times you're sitting there saying, man, if we just had this guy for 2 years, we're here, but we could be here. And maybe Oregon's saying that right now. Like, we got Dante Moore. And guess what? Dante's coming back. And I know he can make a lot of money in the NFL, but I think the fact that Dante Moore is coming back for that second year at the same place gives Oregon a boost. Is going to have Oregon in that top 5 in the preseason, and those are the difference makers between winning a national title and not winning.
I think
a
that the
title.
template has all been set now. The Big Ten's won it 3 years in a row. Most mature veteran teams,
experience.
Every team average age is what someone said it was. They were 20. They were about the same
it was
age
going
as
out
NFL
there that it was
team.
like 25. That's what they were
average
saying.
playing average experience was almost 4 years.
Yeah,
someone threw that at me yesterday as well. So the Wolverines did it. The Buckeyes did it. I actually talked to Coach Day about that yesterday. We talked before the game, and he mentioned that everybody is now that's it, and everyone's talking about it. How do we get a locker room of grown-ass men that's been through it?
Yeah.
As opposed to coaching that 21-year-old, Mark, is a much different cry than that 18-year-old.
Yeah.
You got a grown-ass man with experience that understands the game.
Coach, remember back in the day, who were the 2 programs that were doing it with the grown-ass men in the state of Utah?
BYU.
Right?
BYU, yeah.
BYU and Utah, right? Yeah, go on that mission. come back a little bit bigger, a little bit
Mature.
faster, a little bit older, more mature, and that's why they had so much success as well. So the template is there. The Big Ten wins
The
3
dynamic is
straight
just
national
crazy.
titles for the first time since the early 40s. Remember, it was Minnesota in 40, Minnesota in 41, and Ohio State in 42. 3 straight Big Ten natties.
The Big Ten. The
4?
the king.
4?
The king of
Anybody
college
want to call
football.
4 in a row right now?
The king of college football. Big Ten
The
right
Big
now.
Ten Conference.
Yeah, I
In
think
Indiana, the Hoosiers.
if it's 4 in a row,
Hoosiers.
it's going to be the 4th different program to do it. It's going to be Oregon. Go ahead. There's your way too early call. If it's going to be
Wow. I
4
see,
straight
Rob.
from the Big Ten, it's going to be Oregon doing it. Wow. Congratulations to Indiana, man. And thank you, college football, by the way.
What an
What a
amazing
tremendous season and a
What an
college
amazing
football
season.
playoff that it delivered. We'll see if there'll be more college football playoff games next year in the next couple days. Coming up next, who's going to be that next Indiana? We'll talk about that. Our newest Hall of Famer, I'm looking at you, Mark, gives us his last Deuce Dog of the Week for the season. And we go back in time when Indiana football and national championship seemed like an absolute impossibility. We frankly don't have to go all that far back.
Light it.
College football not feeling as juicy as it once did. Let me put you on to something that'll shake up your Saturday and every other day of the week, because now that Wendy's has crispy chicken tendies and a powerhouse lineup of new sauces, it's time you transferred to the hottest team in the league.
That's right, Rob. Team Tendies, Wendy's Tendies. They're making their undeniable rookie season one for the books. Enjoy first-string flavor from some 5-star recruits. Rep your new favorite team everywhere you go, but make sure to cheer with your mouth closed.
Take it to the end zone of savory sauces like honey barbecue, creamy ranch, and the new Wendy's signature sauce to experience a total taste bud blitz of flavor. It's time to join a team that won't upset you with an upset. Taste the phenom that's gracing the gridiron with its juicy, crispy, and tendery tendencies. Don't fumble the bag. Commit to a team, Tendies, and call the most delicious plays in the playbook. All right, huddle up. Tendies on 3. Tendies on 3.
1, 2,
2, 3.
10.
Tendies!
Let's do this.
Ah!
No rehearsal. Wendy's Chicken Tendies now at participating U.S. Wendy's. The NFL Conference Championships are here, and FanDuel Coach is turning on playoff mode.
All customers get a profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Each game day during the championship round, you'll find a pack loaded with multiple profit boosts waiting for you in the app.
Pick the matchups you believe in. I'm looking forward to the Seahawks and Rams, and take your shot on an upset or build a parlay that fits the moment. Then apply your profit boost and go after even bigger payouts.
So visit FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, and grab your profit boost pack every NFL playoff game day. Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut, or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. Welcome back to the Triple Option presented by Wendy's. Rob Urban, Mark here with you. Before we get our Deuce Dog of the Week, you know who the real dog is, Coach? Right over there. The real dog
Hall of Fame dog?
is the College Football Hall of Famer, Mark Ingram II. Congratulations, my man.
Thank you, brothers. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, how did you find out?
So I get home from working out, and I'm like just sitting here chilling, and like I never opened packages or something, but my wife she must have got there. She got home. She was home before me or whatever, and so there's like an overnight package getting delivered to the door, and she gets it, and she's like, "This must be important." So she opens my package, and she like sees like what's in it, and she's like, "Oh." So she's like taping it up, like. and like she's taping it up. And I get home and like, you know, I'm eating and I just finished my workout. She gave me a plate of food or whatever. And she's like, yo, open this. I'm like, what is this? She's like, I don't know, something overnight. You know what I mean? So I get it and I open it and I look and I just see like the football. I'm like, then I see the letter. I'm like, hey, Chelsea, come look at this. And she's over there recording me like this.
That a girl,
I said, how you know about this? I said, you knew about this?
I'll tell you, of all my former players, all my former coaches, Mark, you become family. Like, we couldn't be more. I know the Meyer family. They all texted you, right? They all called you.
Miss Shelley called me.
You
FaceTime.
are.
Nikki
since you
hit
joined
me
Big
up.
Noon and this, you're family, bro.
Man,
we are so excited for you. And
love
name another guy more deserved than that, Rob.
I appreciate
Mark
it.
Ingram. What you done for college football? Are you kidding me?
I appreciate
no
it.
brainer. No brainer. Should have been last year. We'll get to that one in a second. Should have been going in with you. Should have been a double party. We also want to extend some congratulations to others who are going into the College Football Hall of Fame
Coach
with
Peterson.
Mark next year. Yeah, our Coach
Fox
Peterson.
family.
Hey, by the way, Coach Patterson, Gary Patterson,
great
who might
coach.
be getting back into the game. What a job he did at TCU. And Ndamukong Suh, Marvin Harrison, one of the great wideouts. Aaron Donald.
What a great
one
class
name,
for me to go in with, man. I had some teammates that I played with. I played with Olin Kreutz, who's going in there. I was a rookie. He was in like year 14. I played with James Laurinaitis, Ohio State Buckeye legend. Eric Weddle, very familiar with him, played against him.
I recruited him, yeah.
Yep. Garrison Hurst, a legendary running back. Like, what a great class to be able to go in with. I'm so honored. I'm so thankful. It means the world to me. I'm just a young brother from Flint, Michigan, with hopes and dreams of being the best footballer that I could be. And, man, check your boy out, Stone.
There she is. Looks
your
good.
boy out,
Hey,
Stone.
You know what's really neat about the class, Mark, too, is so in Vegas, you don't really get to know the class you're going in with. But when they rerun it in January at the Peach Bowl, it's just you guys. And so actually in the Hall of Fame, you're going to see the class of 2026. You're forever. That's going to be your class. And we talked about it. Everybody got up to speak, and it got real emotional, more emotional in Atlanta than it was in Vegas. Vegas is just a big crowd.
Yeah.
But it's really tight. You really get to know. I think Vegas is more for your family than the Peach Bowl and the Hall of Fame actual is more for the class of 2026.
But let me
that
read
class
this to
you
you.
got? Wow.
Yeah. This messed me up, Stone. This messed me up. Let me read this to you. So they send you a letter, right? It says, you are joining an elite group. Of the 5.78 million who have played and coached the game, just over 1,300 individuals are in the history of our sport have earned entrance into the College Football Hall of Fame. In other words, less than 1% of players, coaches all time have been worthy of this distinction. And now you are one of them.
Nice.
Hey.
Does it have like that Gaelic script type handwriting? Oh, there it is. Nice. So, what's funny is the three of us were together in Norman, Oklahoma a couple weeks ago for that first college football playoff game, and we hung out with the Hall of Famer, Coach Stoops. Coach Stoops knew.
He did. He knew at the live show, and he was just kicking all in my face, didn't want to give me no type of inkling, no type of hint. But no, I appreciate Coach Stoops because that was a great way to find out, opening up the letter.
Yeah.
And, they was like, we're going to announce it at 2 o'clock. And that was just a blessed day, man. I'm just so honored and thankful, man. I'm fortunate to be around some great people. Coach Cignetti said that, it was all about the people he was around. It was all about the people I was around. I had great coaches. I had great teammates. I had great trainers. I had great academic advisors. I had so many people around me, family, friends, and support that it's for all of us. It's for everyone, man, and I couldn't have did it without everyone that helped me, and I'm just so thankful, and God is extremely good. It's another thing to go ahead and add to the list, man, because God blessed me with this talent and this ability. It's up to me to give it back to him, so I'm just so thankful and appreciative that God blessed me with this platform.
It's an awesome honor. We're so proud of both of you guys, but there is room for critique here, and I've got a couple beefs with the College Football Hall of Fame. Number one, and I think all Hall of Fames are all great places that are honoring people, need to show a little flexibility. Like Coach last year and Mark this year, I was sick. That we, your Big Noon family, couldn't announce it and pop it on you and bring it up. I think putting it on a bigger platform would have served the College Football Hall of Fame to a higher calling, and I would have loved that. And some of that is certainly selfish as well, because I would have loved to have jumped in you and given you a big hug and then thrown you in a pool in Provo. Number two is, listen, and this happens at all Hall of Fames. There's some great guys that didn't get in for now. Last year, we were like, why is Mark not going in? Right. All right. So he's going to be a year 2 guy. This year, you look at, and I know he's a Barner. Cam Newton,
he's real.
Listen, what Cam Newton did, he should be there with you. And he's not. And the voting is a little bit nebulous out there. You're not really sure what it is you're looking for. And it's not like you have to say, hey, you got to run for this many yards and catch this many passes and do this many wins to get in, but it is odd. Like, it does feel like Cam should be there with you.
Last year, I was very kind of hurt that I wasn't going in with Coach Meyer and Coach Saban. Obviously Coach Saban was my coach who recruited me, and obviously Coach Meyer, someone who I've gotten extremely close with. It's my family. His family is my family. And then now, so I was wondering why I didn't go first ballot. So I don't know what it takes to be a first ballot college football Hall of Famer, being the first in the Heisman in Alabama history, nearly 2,000 scrimmage yards, undefeated, 20 touchdowns, national championship. Now you have Cam Newton who comes on the ballot, and I don't care Auburn or not, this dude had probably the most dominant season from a player that we've seen in college football. We have Joe Burrow, you have Reggie Bush, you have Tebow, but Cam Newton, nearly 3,000 pass yards, almost 1,500 rush yards, 30 passing touchdowns, 20 rushing touchdowns, totaling 50 touchdowns. Like, perfect 14-0 season, BCS national champion.
What else I got to do?
Winner.
What else I got to do?
If that's not first ballot, I mean, other than Coach Meyer, Coach Saban, I know they are the most legendary coaches in college football history, so they went first ballot. But as a player, I'm not sure what it takes for you to be college football Hall of Famer first ballot. And I'm kind of just appalled by Cam Newton not being on. I was appalled by myself, humbly, not being there.
Yeah,
but definitely Cam Newton not being first ballot. I'm going to have to look back and see who has been first ballot players.
Cam will be there. Cam will be there, but just
Oh,
not
yeah,
this
he'll be there.
time.
He'll be there next year.
He'll be there.
I'm not sure what it is, but he'll be there next year. RG3 was on the ballot. I think he was the first in Baylor history. He had a crazy season, so he'll be there too. But, we're just not sure what it takes to be a first ballot college football Hall of Famer at this moment.
Regardless, we have 2 college football Hall of Famers on the triple option presented by Wendy's.
Where can you get that at?
I don't know. Look around. Have at it, or just hang out with us all the time. All right, here it is. Coach, open up your senses. Get ready for sensory overload. It is time for the final Deuce.
The finale?
Dog of the week.
The final Deuce dog of the week, man. You know who we got to go with. We got to go with your boy, Fernando, my Heisman brother, Mendoza. And why? The statistics, they're not sexy, but he did exactly what was needed to be done. He got cheap shot in the chin when he wasn't looking. He got hit, blindside shots. He was getting smacked, and he was just getting up, and he was just making throws on 4th and 6 to Charlie Becker. He's making throws on 3rd and long to Surratt. He was making throws to Omar Cooper Jr. He was running the Mike linebacker over. Boom. On 4th and 5 for a 12-yard touchdown run to go up by 2 possessions. The Heisman brother, the man who led Indiana to a perfect 16-0 season. It's not just about the national championship game. It's about what he did all season long. And it's Fernando, Heisman brother Mendoza. Heisman Mendoza for the Deuce dog of the week, because he did that, and he really is that.
Can you even imagine that there was like a Heisman debate? I know the season, that some of the other great players in college football have, but like looking back now, you're like, of course it was Mendoza to win the Heisman.
No, I don't see that, Rob. I
Really?
see him mid-season as no. He in 7 games he threw 5 picks at one point. He was averaging under 2 yards per game, throwing the ball. Looked quite average in a few games, and then everybody's remembering these last 5 games. These last 5 games bought him a Heisman, probably a $30 million contract in the NFL. When Todd McShay, myself, said he should go back to college. So I just think it was a little bit of a Joe Burrow type. I mean, last year he's a good player. But I just think his maturity, and I'm the biggest fan of that guy, but to say that he was in 25, the Heisman frontrunner and he should have won it, no. No way. I mean, he was a guy that was.
Oh, I'm not saying he was the front runner coming into the season. I'm just saying when you look back on
when you voted at
everything,
Heisman time,
like
I don't think it was a.
Yeah,
I don't think it was a dunk. You think it was a
because
dunk?
that was right after the Big Ten championship game, and for me, it was no brainer, right? Just the leadership and what he'd done,
Right.
and
Let me ask you this, Rob: if he
State
didn't do that in the
coach.
Big Ten championship, would you have felt the same way?
Yeah, so we
that
talked
was the
about
moment
that.
to me.
Yeah, the Big Ten championship game was the one that did finally kind of swing it to him, and then if you're lucky enough, and you're not, of course, because the Heisman voting has already had to be in, but to look back at what he did through the course of these playoffs and how he led them and how.
But you look at Penn State and Iowa, and you would say, yeah, probably not a Heisman guy. I mean, I'm the Heisman moments, but I'm talking entirety because I've coached and been around Heismans.
Yeah,
You just mentioned a guy, Cam Newton. Whoa.
Whoa.
That was
different.
a whoa.
Different.
Now,
but who gave you a whoa this year? Who would have?
It was a down year for the Heisman.
yeah, good
It
point.
was a down year for the Heisman.
Now the woe is over, with Ohio State and then the playoff run. It's an absolute, magical.
Yeah.
He will go down in history, deservedly history. That's why I think the Heisman mark should be now. They should be doing the Heisman now.
Yeah. After the season.
Yeah, I mean those are those Heisman moments. I mean, there's some people, and I would get rid of the Heisman voters that vote early because they're lazy.
Mm-hmm. So
You
have
need
stopped
to
that.
vote after the big games.
Yeah, they have stopped that. So
They usually vote
voting,
after championship weekend now, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
to their
good,
credit,
good.
they've done a great job with that. So,
But yeah,
I wasn't expecting
he
that
earned it. He
spin-off.
deserved it. I'm proud of him that he won it. When you look at some of the quarterback numbers compared to the last few quarterbacks who have won it, like Joe Burrow, Bryce Young, et cetera, the numbers were kind of a little down. But at the end of the day, what he did for Indiana, 16-0, how he went through this playoffs.
That's a good number.
Yes, 16-0. I don't care what level you play football. I don't care what sport it is. 16-0 is hard to do, and he led this team to do it. Fernando Mendoza.
How about their non-conference schedule? No one's ever going to talk. Kennesaw State, Old Dominion, Indiana State.
Yeah. That's why we were all skeptical of them because we're like, you ain't played nobody.
It's coming again next year. I've been looking at their schedule.
I don't know what they got going on because they ain't played nobody. But when they play somebody, they put belt to butt. Bow, bow, bow.
Big Noon in Bloomington, huh?
Big Noon.
I don't know how often Big Noon is going to be in Bloomington because it's a pretty soft schedule to open things up. But I'll tell you one weekend that jumps out, Coach. Buckeyes in Bloomington.
Oh, type it in your calendar right now. Put it on your calendar now, Mark.
Buckeyes in Bloomington, and guess who's got the target on them?
Indiana.
Cream and Crimson have the target on them. Not Scarlet and Gray. Cream and Crimson have the target on them with the Buckeyes in town. Welcome to the New World Order.
So Lou Holtz used to always say, and it's true, as you climb the mountain, takes passion, energy, because the arrows aren't pointed at you. Once you're at the top of the mountain, it's nothing but fatigue. You know why? Every arrow right now in college football is pointed at Indiana.
Yeah. Everyone that got Indiana on that schedule, it is circled. It is highlighted. It's bold, italicized, and underlined, and they are bringing your best shot.
Hold on. Hit pause. The two of you. Let that sink in what you both just said.
Yeah.
Indiana's on the top of the mountain, and everybody's coming for you.
And I mean, blazing, they are coming after them.
Yes.
I know a bunch already that have told me they're coming after them.
Yeah,
of course.
And Coach, they're coming
happy.
after them by replicating them. They're like, how did Indiana get it done? That's how we're going to do it.
That's right.
Just imagine how they whooped on Alabama. Alabama was Indiana. Just imagine how they whooped.
Mark? Belt to what?
Belt to ass. Hey, hey. Hey, just imagine how they whooped on Oregon. Do they play Oregon next year?
Oh, my God.
Oregon going to want some of that.
Yeah, watch out for Oregon.
Ohio State wants some of that.
They're going to want some of that. That was your Fresh Take of the Week presented by Wendy's. Join Team
Well,
Tendies.
Old Dominion want a piece of them?
They want some of that, too. They might get drafted off Indiana.
And enjoy a lineup like never before. Crispy, juicy Tendies now at Wendy's. Love you, Wendy's. Thank you for your support all season long.
Wendy's.
Time now to sound off, and we're going to go back to before Coach Cignetti even stepped on the football field in Bloomington. This is not his Google speech. This is another one inside Assembly Hall. Take a listen.
Hey, look, I'm super fired up about this opportunity. I've never taken a back seat to anybody and don't plan on starting now. Purdue sucks. But so does Michigan and Ohio State.
Oh my God! You know, like the AD and the wife might be like,
Hey,
you know, like maybe just say Old Dominion sucks, and maybe take a shot at a Kent State. No, we're going right for the big boys from the tip. From the tip.
Yep. Not taking a backseat to nobody, Coach. And that's who you want running your program. An alpha dog like that, who now will only has the balls to say it, but more importantly has the cojones, the onions to back it up. That's what Coach Cignetti did.
I knew Cignetti. We talked about this one time back. We had dinner together back in 30 years ago. He was at Pitt. I think it was like 30 years ago, probably 98, so just under 30. And we remained kind of in touch, but not really. But then you really study his background. The guy really does win everywhere. His record's unbelievable.
Google me.
I mean, this is not a one-shot wonder, but I'll tell you what now, it is because I experienced it. Life's about, I remember, real quick story. We won it in 06, Rob, in Ohio, our first national championship. I remember I called my father in the locker room. I called Earl Bruce, my mentor, and I laid back because, I mean, this is an intense job. You know that. And I looked at them both, and I said, the really cool thing is for the rest of my career, I get to do this for fun because we did it. That's the most incorrect statement made. Yeah. It's about to get hard right now. Because the target, like you said, no one even thought of Indiana. I played against them a bunch of times. It was kind of a whatever.
That's a win. That's
everyone
already on the
is
schedule.
Targeted. Everyone is a target.
And the big dogs want some of you. Ohio State wants some of you. Oregon wants some of you. Bama wants some of you. Miami wants some of you now when they can get you on the schedule.
And they want your coaching staff too. I can't believe those two coordinators. Within a year, they'll be head coaches.
You would think so, right, Coach? I was thinking about that. There's been no attrition to the coaching staff, and another reason that they've had so much success.
Saban, our staffs, I mean, the great staffs, they get just poached, man.
It stayed. The Bama staff stayed consistent from about 08 to about 13, 14, 15, and then
did it really?
It stayed consistent until about after because we won 3 out of 4. We won in 09, we won in 11, and we won in 12. After that, it started breaking up. Once Kirby left and went to Georgia, it started breaking up. So, but what Coach Cignetti has for Indiana, he has the resources. With his contract, he said, I need the resources to be able to pay my coaches. That's the only way you're going to be able to keep them before they start leaving.
Hey, by the way, that stadium, Memorial Stadium, it's going to look a lot different pretty soon. Right?
Okay, like the money that's flowing into Bloomington?
Yeah, there's some things that they can do to upgrade that place.
Yeah,
and again, why upgrade it, right? Like when Cignetti took over, there were all these pictures online last night I was seeing of like, here's a snapshot of me sitting in the stands at Memorial Stadium, Cignetti's first game. And it's just emptiness, right? It's emptiness. And now people are going to be flooding in there. And there's so much they can do with the exterior, the interior. That place is, it's remarkable, Coach. To remember what Indiana was when you would go in there with Ohio State, right? And now to put a pin in it and say, hey, let's go visit it 2 years from their national title and look at what Bloomington is going to be like. Like hotels are popping up already, right? We're staying at new hotels for Big Noon Kickoff. Like all this energy that football has brought to that town and will continue to bring is
Mark, you go in those kind of environments, and I always tell people that the pregame speech before the rivalry game or when you're playing in Alabama is not really that important. What it is you want to keep the players down and you want to focus on your job. Against Indiana, I used to break the chalkboard. I would throw chairs. I would break the chalkboard. I would always coach our coaches because we'd have to get some energy because you'd play in a place like that.
Yep. You got to bring your own injury.
Yeah, the players were dead. And, you don't have to get Ohio State fired up to play the Wolverines. You have to get Ohio State fired up to play an early game in Bloomington, Indiana. It was awful.
Not anymore.
No moss.
Not anymore.
Good for them, man.
Great. It's an amazing story. And you're right. Hoosiers Part 2 coming to theaters soon.
Oh.
Time now for 3 and Out. When we come back, who is the next program to pull off in Indiana? We'll tell you next. Welcome back to the Triple Option presented by Wendy's. Urban Meyer, Mark Ingram II, Rob Stone back here with you. Time now for 3 and Out. So Indiana, maybe the most improbable national champion in football ever. For 3 and Out this week, give me 3 programs, Mark, I'll start with you, that could be the next Indiana, meaning teams that are used to losing, have really bad records, and can somehow rise from the ashes to become national champion. You can do it a little bit tongue-in-cheek if you want.
The losingest?
Legit picks out there. Losingest teams.
Pick some losers?
There's a lot to pick from out there, my friend.
Shoot.
Northwestern is currently the
Ouch.
losingest football program in
All right,
college
why don't we
football.
go Northwestern? If Indiana could do it,
Okay.
Northwestern should be able to do it, right? All they need is a Cignetti and a Fernando Mendoza and somebody to maximize their whole team, like Coach Meyer says. So yeah, Navy. Vanderbilt sucks, right? They got better over time. So we
For sure.
they got better over time. They've kind of gotten over to the winning side. So maybe they can continue to go. Hopefully not, because I hate Vanderbilt. But losing his teams, who knows? The Navy, Vanderbilt, who else sucks? And
There's a lot of bad teams. That's all right. That's okay.
We like Navy, so we'll go Navy. They're one of the losers.
Well, let's
teams,
go
right?
Navy. All right. So you go Northwestern, Vandy, Navy. All right, Coach, give me a team that's like looking down a deep well, but might be able to, pull some corners
Yeah,
out
I'm
of
going
there and
3.
win it out.
I've never gambled on sports because I'm not allowed. I was never allowed. But was it FanDuel? I want to bang out. I already did. No, I didn't do it yet because I don't know how. But Rice, Rutgers, and Wake. And why not, man?
We're gonna get you. We're gonna get you signed up for FanDuel. We're gonna throw $100 on, and we're gonna throw $100 on Rutgers and get you 100,000.
So 100 gives me 100K.
Yes,
I don't know
sir.
if that's enough. But I'm going to say Rice. I have no idea about Rice. No idea about Wake, but I'm going to throw them out there because if Indiana can, they can. But I will say Rutgers because Greg Schiano, who I'm biased, he's a great friend and a great football coach. Rob, he had him in the top 5 in the country at one point. 06.
For sure he did. They
So
why
why
were
not?
must-watch television.
Why not?
Well,
Schiano,
here's the
Cignetti.
deal, right? In this day and age of
Right?
college, there's
He never
Probably
said
similar
Google me.
dudes.
I'm going to call him here in a minute and tell him to say
not
that.
yet. That's not Schiano's way. Well, so here's the deal, right? In this
What
day
about
and
you,
age,
Stone?
you got to be in one of the big conferences, right? I think tradition helps if you have some form of tradition in your university of winning. I think Northwestern can pull it off. The losingest program in college football right now. They're in Chicago. They're investing. They got the new stadium coming up now. When Fitzy was there, they had like every 3 years, Northwestern was a problem in the Big Ten. They can pull that off. They've seen it. They've been that close. To your point, Rutgers has been that close under Schiano. I'll throw another one at you. Lance Leipold at Kansas. Yeah, watch out for Kansas. Remember, 2 years ago, we were saying, here come the Jayhawks. They had a lot of energy and a lot of momentum. They're doing the stadium expansion as well. They have winning at that university, courtesy of the basketball program, just like Indiana had winning at the basketball program.
Put your
And owners
money
said,
here.
"Why
Go
can't we do
FanDuel. Go
in
get it,
football?"
Rob. Don't tell us about it. Do it.
There you go.
Mark.
There you go. Those are
You
mine.
got that money on your
Northwestern,
chest. You
Rutgers,
got that Shadur
and
Sanders on your chest.
Kansas. Time now for 2-minute drill, brought to you by FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/triple option to download the app and take advantage of a 50% profit boost today. So the season sadly is over. Time now for our way poorly researched early 2026 college football playoff championship pick. I don't think a lot of people had Indiana on their sheet last year. It was a lot of Ohio State repeating, right? And maybe Penn State and SEC getting their mojo back and getting that national title after being shut out 2 years in a row, now 3 years in a row. So, Mark, right now, our way too early 2026 national football champion is...
the Fighting Irish and Marcus Freeman.
What?
CJ Carr coming back. They've been there. They was at the national championship.
No love, though. No love.
They was at the national championship 2 years ago. They probably should have been in a playoff this year. They have experience. They know how to win. The schedule ain't scary as we typically know with Notre Dame. But they have Wisconsin, Rice, Michigan State, Purdue, North Carolina, Navy, Miami, rematch, Boston College, BYU, SMU, Syracuse, Stanford. That's got to be a playoff schedule, right? With C.J. Carr coming back, Marcus Freeman at the helm, knows how to handle success, knows what it looks like to win, got him to the national championship 2 years ago. Notre Dame, extremely way too early. Because, I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, and I'm always driving with the Tide.
Okay. Coach, who's your way too early?
Returning quarterbacks at Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, Texas, and A&M. Can't go Texas. Every year I try to pick them. A&M, I don't know enough about. Oregon, Dante Moore. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Ohio State's got a rugged. This is the first rugged schedule they've had in a minute. But I'm going to go Oregon. I'm going to say Oregon, Dante Moore coming back. The Big Ten wins it again 4 years in a row, and they're going to follow the pattern set or the template set by the last 3 national championships.
It's got to stop. It's
maturity,
gotta stop.
experience, grown-ass men in the locker room, Oregon.
And they had a young roster this year, particularly at some skill spots. So those guys have grown up. Yeah, I think that's a great call. You usually take Texas, so you're not going to do it this year. I'm going to take Texas because it feels like the Longhorns are similar to the Buckeyes a couple of years ago. As you mentioned, you got to have that. You don't have to have that returning quarterback. I feel like it certainly helps. And Arch Manning finished the season strong now, guys. Over 3,100 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Here's my one request to the good folks in Austin. Let Arch talk. Like, put him in front of the media. Let him do stuff. Let him be Arch Manning. Quit putting him in this little cocoon. Release Arch Manning to the wild. Let him be the Arch Manning that I think Texas fans want to see and want him to be. They added Cam Coleman, the number 1 receiver in the transfer portal from Auburn. They already have Ryan Wingo. They need to find the running game, right? That wasn't up to snuff. So they need to fortify up front. They need to find that
they got a dog.
Bell cow.
They got a dog true freshman coming in from Chaminade down here in Florida, a tailback.
So maybe that's the answer. And they brought in Will Muschamp. They brought him back, former coach in waiting. He's going to be the defensive coordinator. So I go Texas. Coach, you go Oregon. And Mark says, fighting Irish.
But I also don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. Don't never get that twisted.
I got it. Some early numbers, though, just to put this in perspective. Ohio State, Notre Dame at plus 650. Indiana to run it back at plus 700. That's going to be a lot to ask of them. There's Texas at plus 750. Coach, your Ducks at plus 900. And finally, there's Georgia at 1,100. The Fighting Lane Kiffins at 1,400. A&M, Texas Tech, and Miami. So a season is done. We're not done. Triple Option goes throughout the college football season. Can't wait to continue the conversations about what transpires in college football after the games are done. Because as we learned last year, guys, we were not short of topics. There was so much to talk in college football throughout the season. But at the end of this college football season, the three of us want to thank you for listening, for watching the Triple Option, man. It's great to do this. We enjoy it so much every week and glad you're a part of it.
Love you.
So, we love you more, so follow us, subscribe us, rate us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you get your podcasts, as well as social media. We are at 3X Option Show, and as always, thanks to our wonderful sponsors, Wendy's and FanDuel. Most importantly, thank you for listening and watching, and we'll see you next on the Triple Option.
We love you.